This is Hot Mess.
KXTE FM HD1, Pahrump, Las Vegas.
It's so sick, bro.
Broadcasting from the Dollar Loan Center Don'tBeBroke.com studio.
I love it.
It's time for the Lunchtime Double Stack with MJ.
Ooh, do I have a treat for you today? Garbage and Blondie play the Pearl tomorrow night. I'm going to be hooking you up with tickets, and we have the legendary producer and drummer of Garbage, Butch VIG, on the line. What's up, Butch? How's it going?
I'm pretty good. How are you, MJ?
Oh, I'm just trying to keep my cool right now. How you feeling?
I don't like being called legendary.
I know, right? You're like, that's kind of making me...
I feel old.
It's more the magnitude of the projects that you've worked on and have produced for us. Not an old thing at all.
I'll take that then. I'll take that.
First off, big congratulations. You guys have been going strong for over 20 years with Garbage. That's really incredible in this industry.
Yeah, we're lucky in some ways that we're still around, and part of that, I think, is that we just get along as people, and we share a lot of sensibilities together in terms of what we like in music and art and food and everything. So
yeah.
It's not easy, and I think the other reason maybe we're still here is we've always operated as a democracy. And while that can be difficult at times making decisions, it gives everybody, more autonomy and, just feeling like their voice is being heard in every aspect of the band, producing, writing, the artwork we do, our business decisions and everything. So I think, we're trying to keep everybody so they feel like they're really involved. And so I think that's another reason that we're still here after 20 years.
I think that's great advice for new bands and also for like marriages, relationships, anything. I mean, it's hard enough trying to keep families and, a couple together, and you guys have a whole band. Who does majority of like songwriting? Is it a collaboration, or do you have outside help? How does that usually work out?
The songs are all written between the four of us, and
wow.
Sometimes a song will be birthed from the four of us in a room just messing around with sounds, and Shirley will start making up lyrics and melodies. Sometimes one of us will bring in an idea, like I might bring in a chord progression over a beat, or Duke might come in and play a piano riff, or Shirley might just have a song title.
Such a creative science behind songwriting. I just love hearing about your process. So interesting. Another interesting thing is this collaboration you guys come into the Pearl with Blondie. I know that Shirley was actually one of the speakers at her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. How did you guys link up to do a tour?
Well, it was kind of Shirley and Debbie's idea, really. They've been friends for a long time, and we wanted to go out and do some shows this summer, and then it just seemed like kind of a perfect wedding in a way. We had a really strong career in the 90s. They had a really strong career in the 80s. They're both really iconic, powerful female singers.
Yes.
And there's not that many out there these days.
No, it's incredibly inspiring.
And we just kind of feel like the future is female, so let's go out and celebrate that.
Yeah. Honestly, my jaw dropped when I heard the bill. I was like, Garbage with Blondie? Are you kidding me? I've had the pleasure of seeing you guys twice. I've never seen Blondie, so this is just a treat to see you again. It's you're definitely one of those bands I would never miss.
All right. Well, thanks for saying that, MJ.
I know you have some new stuff from your most recent album, Strange Little Birds, last year, but what other stuff can we expect?
We're pulling songs from all 6 of our albums. We'll probably play a couple from our latest Strange Little Birds, but we're going all the way back to the first record, and a lot of material that we have to remember how to play.
Yeah, I bet. Having such a huge catalog like that. Let's take a quick break. I would love to get a song request from you. Let's play something that you play at every show. The fans just crave it and love it, and just a little interesting backstory on it, if you would.
Played number 1 Crush yesterday.
Yes.
That was one of those oddball songs. We left that off the first record, and it became a big hit on the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack.
Yes. Takes me back to high school, that song. I love that one.
Yeah, that's 20 years old.
Yeah, wow, I know. We'll be right back to chat more with Butch VIG and chances for Blondie and Garbage tickets. It's number 1 Crush right now on X1075. X1075, it's MJ. We're chatting with Butch VIG of Garbage. They come to town tomorrow night with Blondie to play the Pearl. And Butch, I think a lot of people are familiar with your work, but for those who don't know, you're heavyweight in the industry. I know there are huge bands that would be dying to get a chance to get in the studio and be produced by you.
Sure.
You produce some of the biggest albums that set off the alternative scene. I mean, Nirvana's Nevermind, Smashing Pumpkins, Sonic Youth, and even into bands like AFI, Green Day, Foo Fighters. You've worked with that's an incredible resume.
And that's one of the reasons I love being in Garbage. I'm not just a drummer. I'm an engineer, and I'm a songwriter, and I'm a producer, and I play bass and guitar and keyboards, and I'm a lab rat, a studio lab rat. I like to manipulate sounds and, just tinker with weird noises and things.
Definitely a jack of all trades in the music industry. And one of the most notable albums you produced was Nirvana's Nevermind. Since he's not around anymore, is there anything you can share with us about Kurt Cobain?
Well, Kurt was unbelievably talented. Obviously, everybody knows that. He was somewhat of an enigma, and part of that was because I think of the kind of bipolar mood swings he had. He could be really witty and charming and totally focused, and then he would just sort of go in these black holes where he would disappear into himself for a while and, become very uncommunicative. And I had to sort of adapt to that. I mean, Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic know that, is better than me because they spent a lot more time with him. And you just had to be able to flow with it. But Kurt had an amazing sense of humor, and he was, I would push him in the studio to try and play tighter, play more focused. Let's make sure you're really locked in with the bass and the drums. And his singing, he would totally go for it. And anytime I wanted to double track something, he would always, double track his voice or double track a guitar just to make it sound bigger. He would get on my case and say, I don't want to do that. That's too fake. And I would say the same thing over and over. That's what John Lennon did.
Oh, wow.
Double tracked his voice. He'd go, okay, Butch, I'll double track my voice. And then he'd do it in one take.
He wanted that original, stripped down, live in the, I could imagine.
Yeah,
Not too much tinkering with his sound. He just wanted it to be really raw.
Yeah, totally. From an artistic standpoint, he was just trying to express himself, and he didn't want things to get in his way of doing that,
Right.
It's how a lot of artists operate.
I think we all can understand that. We got Butch Vig with us right now. Hey, Butch, can we do another song request from you? Something off one of these incredible albums you've produced, apart from Garbage, and maybe a little backstory on the song would be cool.
I think my favorite track on Siamese Dream is Disarm. I still love that song. It was one of the more difficult records, or one of the more difficult songs to record on Siamese Dream because we tried recording it as a band, and we ended up recording it just piece by piece, starting with Billy's guitar, and then we added a bunch of sound effects and things using a sampler, and then we brought in Jimmy Chamberlain played some percussion overdubs, and then we brought in a cello player and a string player. Just one violin player, one cello player, and because we thought we were going to make it sound like a quartet, and it didn't sound big enough, so we just kept overdubbing and overdubbing and overdubbing. It took us 3 days to put together, and but I just love the sentiment. I love the way Billy sings that song. I think it's very personal for him from a lyrical standpoint.
You heard the man. It's Butch Vig, guys, from Garbage. Also produced this incredible album, Siamese Dream. Let's all listen to Disarm together. X1075, it's MJ, hanging with Butch Vig. We're about to wrap this up, but fascinating interview. Thank you for sharing all these backstories from working with Kurt Cobain and just your work with Garbage and your songwriting process. And tomorrow night, we look forward to seeing you guys at the Pearl with Blondie. And caller 10 right now gets tickets to the show, 791-1075. Before you go, we definitely need a brand new song request from you. What do you think? What should we play?
Let's play something from Strange Little Birds. Let's play Empty, which
Okay.
we rehearsed yesterday.
All right, well, let's do it. You guys get your tickets to the show, Garbage and Blondie, tomorrow night at the Pearl. Butch Vig, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for taking the time to chat with us.
Yeah, thanks, MJ. We'll see you soon.